You're listening to Art of the Unknown, the podcast about traveling inwards, outwards, and onwards. Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. You're listening to episode number 20 of the podcast, and I'm your host, Sarah Cruz. So in this episode, I just want to go over what exactly is happening, where I am, and what's going on in this whole scheme of the trip. So I'm still in Spain. I'm still in Las Palmas, which is an island, or it's a city on the island in the Grand Canaries, which is in Spain. Yeah. So my original plan was to go somewhere where I can kind of be alone for a little bit. My original plan was to go to Croatia and just kind of hang out by the beach and, reflect on life and my place in the universe and all of that good stuff. And of course, winter happened because it snows places. I didn't realize that apparently. So that led me to Spain. And now I'm just kind of here on the island. It's funny. People ask me, they're like, so, like, what are you doing here? Are you on vacation? Are you working? Like, what's the deal? And I'm just like, I don't know. I just kind of showed up and now I'm here. And that's exactly how it feels. I just kind of I was being drawn to Las Palmas. I don't know. It just kept on popping up for me. And again, when that happens, I kind of have to go with the flow. So of course I did. And it wasn't even as though I had to really try that hard. I was already going to Spain to see one of my friends, and I figured I might as well just stay here. I mean, I really didn't have anywhere else to go. So I've been in Las Palmas for about 3 weeks or so, and I was really kind of hoping I would like it here because I wanted to stay for at least a month or two. And so far, I really like it. It's such a cute little island. And just being by the water, I need to be by the water. I learned living in Portland that trees are not for me. They make me feel a bit claustrophobic. So I know now that I need to be by the water. Like, I don't need to be by the water, but it's definitely a preference. And obviously, I'm on an island, so there's lots of water. And it's nice to be able to practice my Spanish because that is the one language that I know a little bit of. So it's nice to be able to kind of communicate with people in a different language, which of course as an American, that's not really something we put too much value on. It's like, everyone needs to speak English, damn it. Freaking English privilege up in here for sure English privilege. I can feel it too, going somewhere and they just automatically start talking to you in English and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to learn Spanish up in here, watch your mouth. And I don't know, I think I like it here. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave, but I must eventually. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. So I think it's good to get a little bit of a mixture in the sense of how and where you travel to. And I think it's good to stay in places for, I guess, longer than you think. Because, it's easy to go to a place and be there for a week and kind of get the gist of it. But I think if you're there for weeks on end or even months, that's when you can really start to get a hold of the culture and really start understanding the people and really start understanding the country as a whole. And I feel like just being in Las Palmas for 3 weeks, I'm really starting to understand Spanish life. It's definitely more relaxed. People aren't really in that much of a hurry. People really don't seem to care about that much, which is nice. I like that. And I don't know, day-to-day life just seems a little bit easier. Not as, I guess, back home it's more direct and more to the point. Where here it's a little bit more in a state of flow. People are super friendly, people are nice, people just seem like they enjoy life, which I think that's awesome. I wish everyone just kind of was able to enjoy life, and which I'm glad I'm here and that's how the culture is, because I feel like finally, not finally, but it's taking me a while to actually feel like I enjoy life again, which is weird to say because I know I'm 26 years old. I live my life pretty freely and I go about it how I choose and how I want. But at the same time, I have a lot of anxiety. I'm very anxious all the time and I worry too much about stuff. So to kind of like to let go a little bit of that and actually try to see life for what it is and not take everything so seriously. I'm really learning how to do that. And I think Spain is a good place to kind of let go a little bit and just really try to enjoy what we have and enjoy being here and enjoy the journey, man, because it's a unique experience here on this earth. And if you're not going to like what you're doing or like it or just try to see the beauty in it, then you know what, it's going to be a long life. And I think I do that though. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I avoid living in the moment because I try to push everything. I try to push it out into the future and I try to avoid actually being present because I think part of me is afraid to actually feel what's happening, not just enjoy it, but to actually really become, I guess, one with it and really not understand it, but just become a part of it. And I guess for me, it's a little bit easier to detach myself from the present moment because I don't know, I feel like in my mind, there's always something more that I need to be doing or more that I need to be in order to fully deserve being in the present moment. And I think I've been living my life that way for a little bit too long. And it's nice to be in Spain because in a way it's kind of like letting go of not just the expectations that I have for myself, but letting go of the expectations that I think other people have for me. And I think I kind of live my life in a way that it kind of revolves around expectations, not just what I expect, but what I think other people expect or what I think I should expect, all of that. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting to constantly be trying to live up to something, to constantly be trying to obtain that ideal state of being when you can't obtain it. You're just going to keep on chasing it and chasing it. And I feel like I've been chasing it for too long and it's become exhausting. I remember I said a few episodes back that I was waiting to get to what I thought was going to be Croatia to kind of relax and let go and be able to be in the moment and to finally just find peace and be happy. And I realized today that I'm where I thought I wanted to be. And you know what? None of my problems have been solved. I've, of course, again, pushed everything back out into some other future date or event or whatever you want to call it. So I'm here in the moment where I thought I wanted to be. And it's not that getting here has really made the difference, but I think it's accepting the fact that I don't need to get anywhere else. Like I don't need to keep on going somewhere. I don't need to keep on trying to be more or trying to have more or trying to get somewhere else than where I'm at. And for me, that's kind of a relief. And I think being in Spain is showing me that it's okay to be where you are. It's okay to be who you are. And it's okay to just freaking be. Like, just relax for a second. Tranquila, my child. Tranquila. Oh God, I know I'm working on it. Yeah, so being here is showing me to kind of just relax and just be in the moment and just enjoy life and quit trying to get somewhere that you're not, okay? Quit trying to get to where you're not. Like, that is what I really, really appreciate and love about this trip that I'm doing, is that every place I go, it is a reflection. It is showing me something about myself that I need to see and I need to learn. And it's crazy how these things keep on popping up. Like, for example, even starting out the trip in Istanbul. Istanbul was the root chakra. Istanbul showed me that what I need is a foundation. It showed me that I need to ground myself and that I need to start building from the ground up, okay? And it was so clear. I felt the root chakra vibes all day long. And then afterwards, when I went to Israel, it showed me that, oh God, it was a reflection. It was a reflection of my heart chakra completely as it was. And it definitely showed me the good things about myself. And it showed me the love and the potential that I actually have to give, okay? And then where did I go after that? Okay, and then after Bulgaria and Romania, that was also an emotionally driven 2 weeks. Holy shit. I thought I was going crazy. It was a weird trip. A lot of weird things happened. The vibes were definitely a little off in that trip. And it showed me that I can't live like that. I can't live being ruled by my mind, because if I do, it's not going to be good. That is for sure. So aside from Spain showing me that I kind of need to live in the moment and relax a little bit, I think it's also showing me that I need to open myself up more to people, because I find this place and Spain in general to be a very social place, and people just love talking to each other. People love going out drinking. People just love being around other people, and that is something that I have a little bit of a hard time with. I'm not really the most open to people in general. Maybe it's because my heart chakra is a little bit closed. Oh God, it's been closed for a while. I'm going to go into that a little bit in more detail in another episode, but for right now, I just want to say that it's I want to say maybe a unifying place. Yeah, I get the vibes that this is the place where people want to come together. And again, it's a little bit scary. I'm definitely an introvert. People scare me. So now that I've found my home away from home in Las Palmas, what is the game plan? I'm thinking I'm going to be here maybe maybe a few months. I think I'm going to be here maybe a few months, but I'm also going to be traveling within that. So I'm going to be traveling within my traveling. I'm going to go to London tomorrow. And then I return to Spain, and I'll be here probably, I think, for another month or two. And then I'm going to go to Dublin, which is also very exciting. I did not think I was going to end up in Ireland in this trip. But again, things just kind of call my name and I kind of have to go to it. And for some reason, Ireland just appeared and I was like, hey, you're looking pretty good right about now. I guess I'm going to go see what's up over there. Again, I did not expect that. That kind of just happened pretty quickly too. And then I'm going to return back to Spain. See, I just can't get enough of Spain. And then after that, maybe I'll go to Croatia. I don't know. I still want to go to Croatia. But then the more this trip happens, the further and further away Croatia feels. I don't know. do I really want to go to Croatia, or do I just think that I want to go there? Is anything really in Croatia for me? I don't know. But then again, you're not going to know until you get there. So aside from where I've actually physically traveled in this trip and where I'm going, I've also been reflecting a little bit on what it feels like to be in the unknown, which is where I thought I was going. And it's strange because before I left, I painted the unknown as kind of like this big, mysterious black door, like just dark room that you're walking into, and you have no idea what's in there and you have no idea what's going to happen. And it could be anything, really. It could be really anything. But now that I'm about a few months into this trip, looking back, it's strange because it's not as mysterious as you think it would have been. And I'm saying this because it seems like everything that has happened and everything that is happening isn't really that surprising. I think it's because doing this whole trip and just kind of throwing myself out into the universe, doing so has allowed me to kind of become the person that I've always been, but I haven't really been able to fully express all of the different layers of myself because, I mean, for many reasons, just because I live inside of my head so much, which, oh God, you don't want to do that, but also because I haven't really let go like that in a while. I mean, I definitely don't plan things out very well. So I don't want to say that I haven't been open to things, but I don't know. I've just kind of had a very set mind on how things will happen and how they should happen. Even when I'm trying to go with the flow, quote unquote, even when I'm trying to go with the flow, I still have a very strict guideline. For example, I will be open to certain situations, but I'll be like, okay, I'll tell myself, now I'm open. So let the universe come in and swoop me away. And then that's when I expect things to happen. But then afterwards, I close up again. I'm like, okay, now I'm not open. What I guess I'm trying to say is that doing this whole trip and allowing myself to slowly become exposed is showing me the parts of myself that I always knew existed, but I never really thought could fully live within me and be a part of me. Does that make any sense? I don't even It's like me sitting here talking about all this, hippie talk and all this spirituality. It's not surprising. It's not. Like, I've always filled my time, my mind, everything with spiritual talk. And as soon as I realized that other people thought this way, or there were books out there I could read, like, all I've done is fill myself with information about it. So for me to be sitting here talking about spirituality and life, it's not surprising because that part of me has always been there. But a year ago, I didn't think I would be explaining my thoughts about it to someone, or taking this much time a week to share my views on it. And again, although what is happening right now is new and it's not something that I expected, it's not surprising because that part of me has always been there. And another example is that more and more lately, I've been really thinking about starting a business. I don't know what, I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's just becoming more and more clear that career-wise, the path that I want to go down is I want to own a business. I want my freedom. I want to be my own boss. I want to call the shots and I don't want anybody above me, okay? And again, even though that's not the path I thought I was going to go down, nor did I think it was going to be the type of realization I had while I was traveling and trying to get all hippie, it's not surprising because I remember way back when in my day, first learning about business and all of that. And I really, for some reason, it hit me back then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to start a business. And when you have these ideas about what you want, I think for some reason they become so abstract and almost unobtainable because all you can see is the big picture. You can't see exactly the pathway to get there. And being here, it hasn't shown me the path, but it showed me that if I want it, then there's definitely a way to get there. I don't see it yet. It's slowly, I think, exposing itself to me. So what I'm saying is, like, all of these things that are happening and all of these things that are coming to me in my life, it's not surprising because this is who I've always been, and they're just coming to life, I guess, more rapidly or not more rapidly, maybe more easily, because I'm in that state of definitely self-exploration, but just exploration in general. So it's strange that all of these things are coming to life and that I can see them more clearly now. But at the same time, it feels right. It kind of feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. And this is kind of who I'm supposed to be, which makes sense because it's who I am. And I feel like for so long, I've been denying the parts of me that I knew were true. And I don't know why I've been kind of pushing them down or not trying to accept them. But I think for a long time, I've just been kind of trying to silence the parts of myself that have been so clearly trying to talk to me and tell me things that I already knew. And again, I don't have any idea why. It might be just living in this world and constantly being told what to want, how to act, how to look, how to talk, how to be, what success is, what success isn't. And the little layers of the onion are slowly being pulled back. And I can see that happening. It's like I knew it all along. Like, what was I looking for? Like, I knew who I was all along. I just kind of forgot. And I just kind of forgot that I was already there without realizing how I got there. Fucking trippy Dorothy ass shit. And it's just becoming a lot. And as I'm doing this trip and as I'm going into the unknown, things not just about myself are slowly unfolding, but things around me are unfolding. Like even just how I ended up here. It wasn't even as though it was difficult. I wasn't even trying to come to the Canary Islands. It just happened, and it happened naturally, and it happened organically, and it happened without me even trying because I didn't really need to try. It was almost as though all of the signs were there. They were pointing me in that direction, and all I had to do was look. All I had to do was just trust that where I'm going is where I need to be, and to let go of all the expectations that I had, that I've set up around me, that I've just been living in, that I've just been surrounding myself with. And when I can let go of those expectations, I feel like that's when I can not just see more opportunities, but actually feel my way into going with what I know is right and what feels right and what is right. Because again, going back to the whole thing about intuition, is that you know, okay? But sometimes the mind just likes to mess with you a little bit and kind of convince you that you don't know. This trip has definitely not been what I expected. I can't even begin to describe, like, if I was going to tell you everything that would have happened before I left and where I would be going, and, you know, maybe my little crazy period I had for a little bit, and then my periods of, say, feeling like I'm being spiritually guided and enlightened, yeah, I couldn't have guessed that. Can you have guessed that? I couldn't have. I mean, like, how do you even like make that up? You can't, okay? You just have to experience it. So I'm definitely grateful for how this trip has been going and how it's turned out and how it is unfolding, definitely. But part of me is also a little bit scared, like at any second it's all going to come crumbling down. But I think that is just, I mean, that's one of the fears I have, is that when everything is going so well, I just kind of feel like I'm going to fuck it up. Like I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to do something and it's all going to come crashing down. Not because I can't, I guess maybe because I can't sustain it, but also because maybe I don't deserve it. Like the life that I want to lead and the life that I want to have and the good things I want to come into my life, they can come in, but oh no, they can't stay. Why? Like, who do you think you are? Why do you think you deserve that? Why do you think you deserve to be happy and live in abundance and really just live the life that you want? So I'm trying to move past those thoughts, because that is definitely not the state of mind that you want to live in when you're trying to, I guess, be open to the universe and embrace it for what it is. So I'm definitely learning a lot of lessons being here, and I need to let go. I need to let go of my thoughts. I need to let go of expectations. I need to let go of how I think things need to be. And I guess I need to let go of control. Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yes, I need to let go of control. I maybe have a little bit of a control issue. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I think so. If you don't know, then you probably do. Oh, God. Yep. I guess that might be where the anxiety comes from, is because if you, I guess, aren't in control, or you feel like you can't control something, that's when you become anxious because it's contradicting what you're trying to achieve. And I don't know. It's not like you can't control everything. You can't control anything. What can we control, really? I don't even know. Maybe I've been feeling a little bit of anxiety, or maybe a lot of anxiety, is because when you're somewhere new, you can't really control it. There's nothing you can control because everything is happening. Everything that's happening has never happened before. So there's nothing that you can do to kind of put it in a box, because it's changing and you don't have a box for it because you haven't experienced it. So I guess the controlling issues maybe arise when all of these new things are happening, because they can't be controlled. So constantly trying to understand things and manipulate how they're going to turn out is going to cause a little bit of, it's going to cause a little pushback. And maybe that's where the anxiety comes from, is trying to control the uncontrollable, which is pretty much everything. Okay, so I think I'm done for this episode. I was kind of just letting my thoughts run wild a little bit. They will do that. And sometimes I just have to learn that I have to let them go, and that I can't hold them back. So I want to say thank you again for listening to this episode, and I really appreciate everyone that listens to this podcast. And yes, I'll talk to you guys next week. Okay.